Yo, what's up, everybody?
Skyman is tapping the fuck in.
And if you haven't heard already, hype as fuck, baby. Let's go.
It's your boy Ace Outlaw, and we're about to get hype as fuck.
What it do? This is TSD Chris with Trap Star Dreamers, and you tuned in for Hype as Fuck Podcast.
Hype as fuck.
Hype as fuck.
I'm hype as fuck.
I'm the bastard.
I'm G Blunt.
We are tongue tied.
Yep.
And we are hype as fuck to be back.
What's up, Jesse?
I want to take a second at the beginning of this, and I just want to give you your flowers. Gladly be kicked out just because you came and said hello.
Are you ready? Because I know I'm ready. Are you ready to get hype as fuck?
Hype as fuck.
Hype as fuck. You're you're actually like our family for life. And even seeing you do the pod and stuff, like I'm proud of you. Like you're out there and like you do your shit. Like as soon as I saw you, I like wanted to hug you because you've been there. Like you've been there for us. Like you're not just regular to me. You're Mad Wack Jackson.
Well, shout out to Hype as Fuck Promotions. Shout out to Mad Wack Jackson.
It's Mad Wack. Let's get hype as fuck, yeah?
Hype as fuck.
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 It's Rocky Rob. It's time to get hype as fuck.
But your boy Master K, be sure to tap him for hype as fuck. Let's get it. Jill.
Jesse, get hype as fuck. What up?
I'm hype as fuck. Let's go.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Rawr. This is Toddy and you're watching Hype as fuck.
What is up? Welcome to tonight's episode of Get Hype AF podcast. I am your host, Mad Wack Jackson, and tonight we got something super fun and extra special. We have a movie director on the show. So do your thing, tag your friends, drop some comments, share this video out. Let's get some people in here to get hype with us. And let's welcome tonight's guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Gordon.
Hey everyone.
Welcome to the show.
Just for you, I'm hype as fuck. I'm tired as fuck.
Oh yeah.
I'm horny as fuck. I'm hungry as fuck. But I'm here. Pleasure.
It's good to have you here. All right. So as I stated, you are actually we're usually more music oriented here, so we're going to switch gears up tonight for our viewers. And you are a movie director. So quick introduction for us, if you want to tell us. That is, how old are you and where are you from?
All right. I'm 59 years old, so I'm an X generation. I am from Drummond Island, Michigan. It's a small, secluded island of about 400 residents next to the Canadian border in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Okay.
As
and
for the music thing, yeah, I shoot independent films, but music's always been a passion as well. I've got all my stuff here. Keyboards in the back. Eclectic is all
nice.
get
So,
out. I love all types of music.
Awesome. So by habit, I'm gonna have to dig into that because you said that you were musically inclined. You in a band, or you just take these up as hobbies, or what kind of music background you got?
I take it up as a hobby, and over the past few years or so, I've actually built a lot of my own instruments. I run a 3D printing service as well, so I 3D print electric violins or fiddles. I've built a couple of harps, Trossingen lyre, pan flutes, Being my age now, I'm not going to jump in any mosh pits, but I do like, I like the hard stuff too. But I'm more of the Celtic music or the Viking style now. The guttural, growls and but yet the softer tone. So
Sure. Yeah, I'm a fan of that myself, actually. Man, jack of all trades. That's interesting. Make your own instruments. That's a new one I've never heard of. That's awesome. So, how long have you been doing the movie thing?
I started doing our own films with Cut and Run Film Productions. That's a company that I own here in Michigan in 2024. But that's not where everything started. I told you that I'm 59. I started in theater when I was a young boy. So I've nearly 4 decades in the acting world. I guess you'd call it on stage, off stage, some television, and some other independent films by other producers and directors and writers. And one thing that really got me was the fact that a lot of your smaller independent film companies, they'll look for local talent if they can get it, but a lot are non-paid gigs. So you might have to drive, 150 miles for, a few hours to show up on set. Well, what really struck me was the fact that you're asked to be on set at a certain time and you arrive early and you're sitting there, hopefully going through hair, wardrobe, makeup, sound check, whatever. And 14 hours later, they approach you and say, well, we're not going to be able to get to you today. We'll have to reschedule. And that kind of struck a chord. And it's different than in theater. In theater, you go through so many practices and then your dress rehearsals and then you're on stage for a live audience. But for it to be a non-paid situation, a person drive 3 hours out of their day one way and then 3 hours back. So that's 6 hours just drive time. They're on set for 14 hours and then you tell them, we're not going to get to you today. No. So that's why I created Cut and Run. It's exactly the way it sounds. Once we say cut, that's a wrap. You are free to go on your merry way. Enjoy your day, because life is a commodity that none of us knows the amount that we have. So I, as a director, writer, producer, want you to enjoy your life. Now, if you want to hang out after you're done and help wrap up, whatever, that's fine. But I understand that everybody has a life. All of us doing this movie that we're doing right now have day jobs, have children. There's daycare to worry about. There's bills to worry about. I mean, you got to make the paper, right? You got to pay the bills, right? So anyways, we understand that you might have doctor's appointments, dental appointments. You might have family vacations planned. We want you to enjoy your life. So if we call you to set, there is 100% certainty your scene will be shot and you will be free to go. Cut and run. Let's get it done. I don't care if it takes us all year to create the film. We're not doing shorts. We're doing full-length 2-hour features.
So basically, in a sense, you were inspired by the lack of what's the word? Humanism in the industry, and decided to branch out and say, you know what, I can do this myself. I'm gonna do this myself, and I'm gonna respect my actors and the people I have with me, in a sense.
Exactly. Because you get a script like this right here, has 50 to 60 pages of dialogue for a 2-hour film, but it's not about me. I'm not making this. If this isn't a solo film, I'm not portraying every character in this. I'm not running everything behind the scenes. It's not about me. Yes, I wrote it, but it's the actors, it's the sound people, it's the camera personnel, it's the makeup artists, it's the light art, the gaffers. It's the culmination of what every little cog does that brings something like this to life. It's never about me. It's about all of us as a whole.
Absolutely. It takes as they say, it takes a village to raise a baby.
Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
the baby. We got some pretty good questions from our viewers already. George
Hey, G
Blunt.
Blunt.
George, he would actually, his question is there a non-horror film or director who deeply shaped how you tell your stories? Or
a non-horror film? Nah, not really. I mean, you got to have a little bit of horror in everything. I mean, depending upon where you live, just stepping outside your house can be a holy terror. I mean, so most of my roles, I've been given a nickname years ago as the new Lon Chaney. For anybody that's not familiar with Lon Chaney was an actor back in the early 1900s. He's more known as the man of 1,000 faces. To date, I have approximately 400 different characters that I have portrayed. So today you see me with this hair and this mustache. Well, tomorrow I might be completely different. But getting back to your question, G Blunt, I'd have to say, like Martin Scorsese and, those guys from like The Godfather and, things like that, because I love being a bad guy. I there's just something about it that you can't really do normally in everyday life. You just can't be a prick. But on film or in the theater, if that's your persona, nail it.
yeah, definitely a flip side to that one. Be who you are, but on set, when you're called up, you better be who you are supposed to be playing. Yeah, representing, exactly. Perfect word. Yes. So I'm pretty sure you actually just answered this question, but besides a few of the people you just listed, who are some of your inspirations? Who do you look up to, and whether it be in the movie industry or just in your personal life? Who inspires you?
Who inspires me the most would have to be my wife. Because number one, she puts up with me. She's there. She's been there through thick and thin. She takes care of those things that need to be taken care of while I'm out making that money. So when I come home, all I got to do is take my shoes off and put my feet up, if that's what I want to do. And thanks to her, I'm able to be with you folks here tonight. So number one would have to be her. Now,
shout out to the wifey.
I said I wouldn't talk religion or politics. Those are the two things that I really don't care to get into. But the second thing I would have to say would be, if you're a believer, God Almighty for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely,
as for anybody else, I'd have to say my father for instilling a sense of dedication in me. He was a man before he passed that taught me as a young boy that, I kind of live old school still. my word is my bond. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, you're going to be there, whatever, you show up. And you don't show up when you say you're going to be there. You show up a few minutes early. So if you tell somebody you're going to be there at 8 o'clock, you better be there at 7:45, because if you're there at 8 o'clock, you're late. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like I need to pound this into some of my younger viewers. I know you're out there and you can get mad at me, but listen to this guy, okay? He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking. Every word that he just said is absolute truth. I was raised by along the same kind of guidelines, you know. So another question we have from one of our viewers before I lose it here. Sunray would like to know, what is the most known movie TV show that you've been a part of?
The most known TV or movie, it should be out very soon. It's Uper Frankenstein out of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, with director Dave Cairns. So if you are not familiar with Uper Frankenstein, all you got to do is go to your Facebook page and type in Uper Frankenstein, and it will be listed. And feel free to join the group. It's always great to have you. And if you're local and would care to try out for an upcoming project, you may also contact me via Facebook under Frank Gordon, or preferably email me. And you can email me at cutinrun, CUTNRUN, filmproductions@gmail.com.
There you go, you guys. A whole bunch of information and some, you know, some good links if you are interested in, you know, stepping foot in the movie business. That's an awesome opportunity.
You know, we're not Hollywood. We are a smaller, we're a smaller branch, but I believe we're better because we're not catering to people that have been in it for years. Everybody has something on their bucket list. Okay. Being an extra, being an actress, being a dancer, being a painter, being, you know, whatever. We want you to fulfill your bucket list. Not everybody is 6 foot, 140 pounds, type C breasts, hourglass figure. No. We want the everyday mom and pop, family, whatever, because you're real people. You haven't gone through all this plastic surgery. You haven't visited a tanning bed, you know, faithfully for the last decade. We want people that are imperfect because you are perfect for us.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And bottom line, you may not be Hollywood, but everyone starts somewhere. So, you know, you may not be Hollywood.
Nah, I don't want to be Hollywood. I want to be better than Hollywood. And as I was just saying, not everybody has that perfect jawline and stuff like that. When we started casting for the film that we're doing right now, I wanted, and yes, I say I wanted, it was my utmost desire to have people that most would look down upon, and that is person with disabilities, missing limbs, PTSD, Down syndrome, and the list goes on. Being blind, it doesn't matter. We will print this thing in Braille If you need a script that is in Braille, we will get it for you. But know that you matter.
Shoot. Man, if you don't have people lining up at your door, I don't know what they're doing. It sounds like you are running an awesome opportunity in business for people to, be a part of, no matter what way they want to be a part of, whether they want to be on screen, behind screen, you're offering an amazing opportunity, no matter how big or small.
Thank you to Lars J. Lufbro. I see he's got a response up here, and it should be known that Lars is actually in the film that we're producing called Wendigo in the Wicca, and he plays the role of an old timer, Henry Thompson. And for those of you that haven't read it, he says that an actor or an artist never stops learning, and always being humble is what is the necessity to success, no matter what level you are at. That is Frank, humble. Lars, I thank you for that, bud. You know I love you. You know you are an integral part of what we're doing. I am proud of you for everything else that you're doing. Let's keep moving forward.
Thank you for the awesome comment. And before I get any further, thank you guys all for tuning in and watching the show tonight. I definitely appreciate it. Keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. And you mentioned can you tell us a little bit more about this movie you're currently working on? Wendigo and the Wicca?
It's called The Wendigo in the Wicca. And
there we go.
This is the first of 2 films. This is The Thirst for Life. Now, I have to backtrack a little bit because the name or the word Wendigo. I told you previously in this podcast that I reside on a little, basically secluded island called Drummond Island on the northern peninsula of Michigan, next to the Canadian border. Now, in my nearly 60 years, I never heard the name Wendigo. I've never spoken it, never heard it. It's just nothing that I've come across. But we do have many indigenous persons from several tribes living in our community in the surrounding areas. Back in latter part of 2024, I got home late. I wasn't drunk. I was just simply tired, and I fell asleep. Well, I had this very vivid, this very lucid dream the dream that you could actually smell and taste and see colors. And it was that vivid. And when I woke, the only thing that I was able to pull from that dream was the name or the word Wendigo. As most people, they sometimes might remember their dreams, but more often than not, as you awake and the cloudiness, begins to fade, it just poof like smoke, and then you can't remember. You knew you dreamt, but you don't know what you dreamt about. Well, I was able to pull that one word, that one name. So, like most people, I hopped on Google and I asked Alexa and Siri, and I found out that the Wendigo is a cryptid from the indigenous persons in the area from which I actually reside. Now, if that wasn't crazy enough, never heard it before, but somehow it came to me in a dream, and I was able to pull that name or that word from that dream. And that's how this thing started. The more research I did, and if there are any indigenous people out there, know that this is for entertainment purposes only. I understand that from what I know, talking to other indigenous people, is that the name Wendigo, the beast that everybody thinks, the cannibalistic animal, it's European bastardization of a cultural story or belief. If you read on the Wendigo, it has this insatiable hunger for human flesh, and the more it eats, the larger it gets. Therefore, the hungrier it becomes, the more it eats, the larger it gets. And it's that never-ending cycle. But from what I've come to believe, again, that is the European bastardization of this whole thing, is that it is actually a cultural story passed down from generation to generation about greed, gluttony, overindulgence. I mean, oneself. I mean, if you look back upon history, you'll notice that the indigenous people from all across these United States worked as a tribe or as a community, and what they hunted, what they gathered, was not just for one family, it was for the entire community. So I just wanted to make that clear. And then the name Wendigo and the Wicca. Okay. So because of the European influence, I've got this beast. Okay. So who's fighting this beast? What is fighting this beast? And you start thinking, okay, Wendigo versus the army? No. Wendigo versus local law enforcement? No. Wendigo versus, I don't know, Democrats, Republicans, the president? I don't know. But no, I decided to go against something else that is older in lineage, and that is the pagan or the Wicca practitioners. And I was able to interview quite a few active and practicing pagans and Wicca, and come to find out that they are basically of the four elements and spirit. So they're of the earth, water, wind, fire, and spirit. So, okay, you have this beast, and he's just tearing up the land, destroying, killing this person, that person. Who better to protect Mother Earth than the Wicca? So that's how that came about. Long story short, it falls along the lines of Stranger Things, supernatural. It is a fantasy / thriller type film. Again, I said that we were not Hollywood. There will be no CGI. As for accuracy, I've gone through and I've talked to law enforcement. I've talked to indigenous personnel. I've talked to medical examiner's office. I've talked to the Wicca and the pagans, fire department, because we do have actual flame in some scenes and so on and so forth. So I've gone through each element that is going to be in this and talked to those professionals and consulted with them, so that when this actually comes out, I don't care if you're on the East Coast or the West Coast, if you're practicing Wicca, or if you're an indigenous person or a law enforcement personnel or anything like that, what you see will resonate with you, because it's not made up mumbo jumbo. So,
man, I'm already so intrigued. I'm so fascinated, and to go off of what G Blunt just said, I'm with you, man. I could probably listen to you talk for hours. You're fascinating. I'm so intrigued.
I'm only human. I'm just one of many. And remember, it's not about me. It's about all of you. One thing while I'm on this, yes, I know that this podcast generally is around music and stuff like that, but as an older person, and I'm not that old, but as an older person, I do want to say that if you look at my Facebook page, right underneath my name, there's a little phrase, and that says "Dare to Dream," and then work to make that dream a reality. So if you have a vision, if you have a dream, a desire, a want, a need, get out there and work for it. Make it happen. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot achieve success or achieve a goal that you set for yourself. Only you can do that. So if you fail, it's on you. We make mistakes. We fall down. It's not how many we make. It's how many times we get back up. Keep moving forward.
Absolutely. That's fantastic advice. Anybody listening, I hope that you hear that, because that is some of the most sound advice you're going to hear. The only reason you're going to fail is because you let yourself fail. So, man, before I get too far ahead of myself, what is the timeline, I guess, that you're in for this movie that you're currently working on? Is it going to be coming out soon? Is it still a work in progress?
We just began doing some test filming. Tomorrow night is actually our Zoom night where we'll have our Zoom meetings, and we're going to be doing our table read. The rest of the filming will begin later this month, and we hope to have filming finished by the spring of 2026, and hope to have it edited and out and available to view the latter part of next year. Note that though we have our camera personnel, our gaffers, our sound, our lighting, we've got all this. I need to say that G Blunt and Trinity are a couple of our composers. Some of their work will be in this film. We also have another composer that's done fantastic work in the past, received some awards, is Bobby Cara. So even though we have the best video, the best dialogue, it's the composers that actually help bring this to life. The music, the soundtrack, the score, all has to match it. There's a precision to it. You know, we want to bring the audience in. We don't want them sitting on their thumbs, but we get them to that point where they're right here, and then we scare the shit out of them and they throw them back in their chair. You know what I mean? And then you do that again and again and again. And it's the music that helps do that.
And those two are some incredible musicians. So it just, for me personally, it's just makes it so much more exciting to be able to talk to you now, hear about the process, and come, you know, a year from now, see what the end result is. Like, that's, for me, that's part of the fun. Is I'm not even a part of it, but being able to watch that journey and see how it comes from concept to fruition, it's exciting, and I'm excited for you, and I can't wait to see how this whole thing turns out. It sounds absolutely incredible.
Since I wrote this and everything, I have gone on YouTube or whatever and looked, and I guess there are a few, heaven forbid, really freaking cheesy movies out there. about Wendigo, where you see nothing but like a flash. This is not that. You're going to see this Wendigo. You're going to see it up close and personal. Our makeup artist, Remy Morton, for our SFX makeup, you're going to see people disemboweled. You're going to see throats ripped out. And we're not talking just like crap. We're talking, if you were not aware that it was a film, you'd be calling 911.
So there's your warning, you guys. If you're squeamish, this may not be for you. But if you like that kind of stuff, this is something you're gonna definitely want to be on the lookout. So, I mean, you've already given us quite a bit of advice, but for you, what are some of your personal 5-year plans? Where do you hope to see yourself in 5 years? Or not even yourself, the business?
I hope to be right where I'm at right now. Just financially stable. Continue to be able to do the things that I love. Give those actors and actresses and crew the credit that they deserve, whether it be on IMDb, monetary compensation, publicity, giving everybody a shout out, because you know what? You do the work, you deserve the credit, right? Again, it's not about me, but what I do hope to do after this, after the Wendigo and the Wicca, is revamp an earlier film here in Michigan, and that is the 1987 Predator film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And a couple of years ago, as I mentioned, also I do a lot of 3D printing. You probably, if I can get around here, you probably see a full humanoid robot and mannequins and everything back there. But this is one of my babies. This is all I built this myself. I have the full gauntlet, the full outfit. This is all 3D printed. This is chinking for cabins. It's got the tri-laser up here. It's got all the sounds, bells, whistles. It's got the blade gauntlet. It's got the plasma cannon. If you'll give me just a second. Oh.
That is so freaking cool.
Here's the backpack with the plasma cannon. And the plasma cannon actually works with head tracking. So when I move my head and everything, it actually, and then I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's a lens in there. It actually blasts light and everything at you. So it's just one of many things.
That is cool as shit. I'm super jealous right now. And it's even to know that you do that yourself makes it even more just mint. I don't even have a word for it. That's
well,
wow, dude, that's so fucking awesome.
When I do something, I always go further than I anticipated. So, I mean, on my page, there should be a clip. I was actually on the Michigan News Channel for Northern Michigan, not last Halloween, but the Halloween prior, with that outfit. But if you go to my private page under Frank Gordon, and look through the photographs, you'll see what the full outfit looks like. And I mean, I just love doing it. I mean, it's as you called it earlier, you know, a man of many traits or whatever. It's just, whether it be music or 3D printing or acting or photography or I mean, there's a saying, YOLO, you only live once. That's a lie. That's a lie. You live every day. You die once. So while you're alive, so while you're alive, do the shit you want to do. Just know that if you do something wrong, you're going to have repercussions. But don't let nobody or anything dictate your limits, because you know what? You dictate your limits. So if you have a fascination in either learning to sing or 3D printing or sewing or dancing or swimming or playing basketball or I mean, just go for it. There's always going to be naysayers. But the minute you let those naysayers dictate your life, you done lost. Don't be a loser. Be a winner. Tell them to shut the fuck up and keep going.
I love that. Don't be a loser. So, I mean, you obviously have a fantastic outlook, and you are just kind of naturally go and an achieving type person. But what's your motivation behind all that? What keeps you getting up every day and pressing forward?
Okay, we're going to go down a rabbit hole real quick here. When I was 8 years old, my mother and my father divorced. Okay. I have two younger siblings. My mother decided it was a good idea to marry my father's father. So my grandfather on my father's side became my stepfather. Well, he was a chronic alcoholic and abusive. When I was 14, we moved to Guadalajara, Mexico. Y por eso puedo hablar español si quiere. Okay? So for that, if you want to speak Spanish, we can do that too. So anyways, long story short, he kicked me out of the house while we were in Mexico. I was 14 years old. And my family, my stepdad, my mom, my two younger siblings, moved back to the States, back to Michigan. They left me there. So from the age of 14, and on top of that, they told my real family here that I was dead and buried in Mexico. So for 4.5 to 5 years, living in Mexico, and then to Los Angeles, living under bridges, getting in touch with Faces International, seeing a lot of gang violence, and not really having a home or any place to store anything that it would be safe or anything along those lines. Those were very impressionable years. So now that I am back, and for the last, 35 years or so, everything that I own, I work for. I take care of. I have a house to store these things. I have a wife that gives me all the support I need. So when I strike out on a new venture, whether it be music, whether it be 3D printing, whether it be with the Fine Arts Council, acting, singing, dancing, whatever, I have a support system now, and I use it. But I don't use it unquestionably. And without telling that support system how grateful I feel and how blessed I am, and that I acknowledge them. So,
Man, you guys better be listening to this guy. I hope you guys take something home with you, learn something, how to be humble, how to be grateful, show gratitude.
you ain't never alone. Yeah, I don't care how lonely you feel. You can feel lonely in a crowded room, but know that you ain't never alone, because I think Tim McGraw said this, but it's another line that I live by. Okay, he said part of it. Be slow to judge, quick to help, and always be kind. And that's what I live by. Because there's people that you see every single day. There might be somebody in your family at the dinner table right now or sitting across the living room that has a story, a member of your family that you have no idea. So always be slow to judge, quick to help, and always be kind.
And there you go, you guys. I'm not even going to ask the question because he just answered it. What is your advice to anybody? There you go. There you go. That is pretty sound advice. G Blunt has another question in here. This is a good one. If you were stranded on an island and could only have 3 movies to watch the rest of your time there, what would it be? And same for music. So 3 movies, 3 albums.
3 movies, 3 albums. You're going to make me show my age, man. I know where you live. Anyways, 3 movies. Okay. It's going to be more than 3 movies. But I would like to see Stephen King's The Stand. I would like to see The Godfather, first one. And then just because I love the colors, would have to be the first Avatar.
All right.
For 3 songs, again, you're going to show my age. It's a Wonderful World. Louis Armstrong. Not much into lyrics a whole lot, but I would have to say either Jimi Hendrix, anything, or Joe Satriani, for just guitar riffs, solos would be good. And then number 3 would have to be the national anthem.
Oh, okay.
Because I am proud to be an American.
There you go. I mean, call me crazy, but I feel like you're the type of guy that if you ended up stranded on an island, it would probably take you a few weeks before you made your own instrument and would just play your own music. So that kind of wouldn't matter, really.
Well, yeah, it might take a few weeks because if there was any bamboo, I'm pretty sure I'd build a structure and a fire and try to harvest some supplies, eat more than
That's what I mean. I don't
eat more than
I don't think
coconuts.
that would slow you down one bit. You'd be like, I got my 3 albums, but I'm gonna just build my own little guitar and I'll have my own 3 albums for you guys in no time.
Well, if there's bamboo, I'll at least make a pan flute or something like that out of it. But.
Geez, I don't even know if I feel like you might have already answered this question, but what are some hobbies you have out? You've already shared so many. What are some other hobbies you have?
Oh, well, I my drones would be one thing. I do a lot of drone video and photography, whether they be the smaller guys, these little guys, 6 inch, 8 inch, 3.5 inch. I've always been fascinated with flying, so I've got a few planes here on the bed. I don't know if you can actually see those. Few planes sitting there. There's drones up there. There's a hexacopter up in that corner, as well as a few others down here. But yeah, but I fly FPV, so or first person view. To me, doing about 60, 70 mile an hour, about 3 inches, 4 inches off the ground is a big turn on. So
yeah, that sounds like it would be fun. Way cooler than just watching it fly around in the sky. That sounds a lot funner.
Well, I still do third person too, but I mean, I've been into the RC stuff most of my life after I got back from California. I've done buggies, truggies, tanks. I've got an arachnid over there, submarines. I've got a UAV submersible that I utilize to help retrieve items off the lake bottom, so on and so forth. I mean, anything that brings you pleasure or anything that even scares you, just take that extra step. I mean, yeah, work within the confines of your means. I mean, don't go broke, but that's where ingenuity comes in. The mother of invention. Okay, you can't afford a carbon fiber, frame. Well, 3D print one. A spool of filament is like $20, and you can print probably 10 drones out of it. So a frame that's carbon fiber might cost you $50. One that's plastic and you can print a new one if you break it in a couple hours might be $2. I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat, I guess they say, but yeah.
There you go. If there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
I think you proved that.
I believe in functionality. I don't really, when it comes to some items like my camera and everything here for doing this filming and stuff, you want good equipment. But for most hobbies, if that's what it's going to be and not a profession or a career, you don't need to spend the money. You get something a little bit cheaper. Make sure that it's going to be a long time hobby or possibly turn into a career or something that is at least going to pay for itself or sustain itself. And then maybe worry about, bringing the price tag up a little bit. But never go out and spend your whole paycheck on something. No. Take care of what's important first. If there's a person that you live with, that person is important. If you've got a dog, a cat, a squirrel, a monkey, I don't care, any kind of pet, that is important. And then you have the finer things in life, like electricity and water and food and transportation, and worry about those things first. Your mind will always find the exit when it's time. Drift off and do one of your hobbies, but always take care of those responsibilities first, because then you have solid grounding to start with.
I now see where Mr. G Blunt gets all of this wisdom he's always coming at me with. I see you.
Yeah.
All
Y'all.
right, this is.
He says y'all funny.
This one is okay. So first off, I guess I want to ask if you happen to know how many movies, or what does your collection look like? How many do you have under your wing? Whether it be how many movies have you been a part of?
Between no, almost 40 years as a thespian. Movies that I've got credit for will be 3. That I've been in will be 4. And this one I'm directing will be 5. So I may make a cameo appearance in this one. So if y'all want to save this podcast tonight and see what I look like, I guarantee you there's a surprise for you if you can pick me out in the movie when it comes out.
There you go. And on that note, you guys will always be able to find this episode on my YouTube channel. If you are, for some reason, tuning in late, want to go recap any of that fun stuff, you just are like, man, that guy had so much wisdom and want to replay this, you can do that on my YouTube channel, Madwack Jackson. Type in that hashtag, Get Hype AF podcast, and you will find it. The second part to that question is another one, and I hit my music people with this one all the time, and they absolutely hate it, and I know it's a terrible question to ask, but I'm going to ask you, which one of your babies is your favorite?
Which one of my babies is my favorite?
Which one of your I'm not even going to say movies. Which one of your thespian adventures is your favorite?
I'd have to say Camelot. Camelot, I got to play 2 different people on stage, and neither one of them were similar. One, of course, was Merlin, and the second person was Mordred. And those photographs are also on my personal Facebook page. It's because the theater calls to me.
Yeah, I can imagine being able to, kind of show off your ability there. Playing 2 different people in one thing, I'm sure that's not an easy task.
Well, they're totally different characters. And the biggest thing, other than them being totally different characters, different mannerisms, different delivery in their cadence of speech, are the fact that I have to literally be 2 places at once on stage. So if you ever get a chance, if we're allowed to share it through the Fine Arts Council, you'll see basically, you ever see the artist that dress is both male and female? So in other words, it's half a persona here is the groom and half of the persona is the bride.
Sure.
It basically it's that quick. I have to throw off a wig, throw off a robe, throw off a hat, hand this here, throw on a cloak, throw on this, and back out. I mean, less than 10 seconds. So,
wow.
And then I get to go into a song and dance.
See, that's incredible to me. I mean, people don't realize, but you get to go do a wardrobe change and put freaking Beyonce and all them, all them ladies to shame, I bet.
Well, there's only one. I mean, you asked what would be my baby, and I say Camelot because of the storyline, but and the fact that I was able to play two characters. For you other manly men out there, unless you like wearing tights, it's not for you.
So some more advice. Just don't do it, in other words. Manly men just don't. So I am actually I'm down to my last two questions. So I want to remind my viewers to go ahead. If you guys have any questions and you had some good ones, drop those in the comments. And one more thing that I thought of before I forget, where can we find some of your content? Where is any of it out and available for us to watch currently?
Again, check my Facebook page under Frank Gordon. Send me a friend request, whatever, and I'll happily accept. My YouTube channel is also based on there. That would be under Geppetto's Lab, because of the 3D printing and the woodworking and everything. I kind of feel like Geppetto at times, working to build Pinocchio, you know. But yeah, and then continue to follow Wendigo and the Wicca on Facebook as well. And if you have any insight, if you have any questions, if you have, any desires, feel free to send an email again to cutandrunfilms@gmail.com.
All right, you guys. And for easy reference, anyone watching this video, if you look in the description of this video on Facebook, you will be able to tap those fancy blue letters, and that will take you directly to his Facebook profile so that you could find all of this information and send those friend requests if you would like to do so. So, like I said, go tap his name in the description of this video, and that will take you directly to his page so that you can find that information. Yes, I will most definitely also, I will be updating the description with the other links as well so that you can easily find those.
Okay, I do see Jeremy Tamayo says, I like the question, but I'm weird. But I gotta say, Sunray Jackson says that I totally love listening to this episode. Well, Sunray, I am blessed to be here, and I am thankful that that you've enjoyed this and that Madwack has given me this opportunity.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about this all of this awesomeness with you. Man, I am so intrigued. I've never been more excited to, I use this term loosely, go stalk you after this podcast and find out all of this cool stuff that I was just so absolutely, I cannot say it enough. You absolutely sucked me in every way. The way you talk, the way you describe things. It's no wonder you are a producer, director, writer. Like, you have a way with words.
We're all a family, and one of the things when I was casting the actors for this is that we don't want to get so large. Like I say, we're not Hollywood. We don't want to get so large that we'll feel that we're better than others. Everything is completely transparent, whether it be from the director, the producer, the makeup artist, the actors, I mean, whomever. We never have a set so large that we're tripping over one another. So prior to each shoot, we'll have a little powwow, if you will, where one person will speak and then everybody else will listen. And there's never two people speaking at the same time. We want to give each other our undivided attention. Okay, so yeah, complete transparency. We're not into this like, okay, well, so and so don't like so and so I'll talk to them later. No, everything is right there, disclosed up front. If there's any issues, we'll take care of it as adults. No temper tantrums, no throwing shit. No. It's another thing you got to learn is that it is okay to agree to disagree. We all have opinions, and they may not parallel one another, but that doesn't mean that one is right, one is wrong. It's just the way that it's perceived by that person. So, complete transparency. Hop on the bandwagon. You have any questions? I'm always here to answer. And if I don't have an answer to something, believe me, I will do my damnedest to find you the answer.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to be. Right on. I love that. So before you get too excited to leave me here, I do have 2 more questions.
I like it.
And because this is Hype AF podcast, I need to know what is one of your most hype moments. I don't care what it is, just a hype moment.
I got 2.
I want to hear them both.
The day my wife said yes, and the day my daughter was born.
Oh yeah, again, shout out to your wifey and to your daughter and to you for being a daddy and saying yes. I love that answer. And
Well,
the last
she said
final
I do. She said I do. And I said, you did?
I did. Oh no, I did.
That's all right. No, the first time I held my daughter, that no words can describe. If you've had the opportunity to do it, to hold a newborn baby in your arms, and the look that they give you, and that new just out the bag smell, it is it's rock on, dude.
It's rock on. Rock on. I love that. I absolutely love that. 2 of the best answers for that question ever right there. I got to admit. And the last one, this is absolutely one of the weirdest questions you may be asked on a podcast that is about music and in this case movies. But I am a little bit obsessed with dinosaurs. I am your local dino baby, and that means I need to know what your favorite dinosaur is.
My favorite dinosaur. I'm a small guy, so it would have to be the Velociraptor.
Oh, okay.
I'm small, but I'm cunning. And I'm not going to tell you whether or not I hunt in a pack, but that's just me, the Velociraptor. I might be looking at you, and my friend might be coming the other way. You never know.
You never know. That's right. Yep. I like that. Big things in a little package, right?
Exactly. My wife, I keep talking about her. She's only like 5'3", 5'4", but you know, my grandma Ida was like 4'8", and if you made her mad, I swear she rode that broom before she hit you with it, because she was just like a flash. And you know, dynamite comes in small packages. I concur. I got a few lumps to prove it. So
yeah, my Nana was the same way. She was not a very big woman, but you couldn't say that about her. Small in size, but big in every other aspect. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, my grandma Ida, she was. It took her forever to get upset, but when she did, the whole house knew it. Okay, but on that same token, she was the first one to offer love and comfort. So, yeah.
Exactly. Well, that wraps it up for my questions. So, unless any of my viewers want to drop any last minute questions in here, that is all I got. But I do want to give you an opportunity to take the floor one more time and discuss anything that we might have passed over that you want to talk about, anything coming up that we might have skipped, and just basically give you the floor one more time to talk about anything you'd like.
Yeah. Again, I've said this many times throughout the podcast this evening already. If anything I said has brought you, knowledge, made you feel better, whatever, then I am very happy about that. There are more people in this than what you see. You're talking to the guy that came up with the story, but I'm not the one actually telling it. So if you would be so kind, I'm not telling you have to. I'm not your daddy. I'm not your mama. Well, I could be, but
I am. Whatever he's about to say, I'm telling you to go do it. That way he doesn't have to.
I'm telling you, go look up Wendigo in the Wicca on Facebook. And the reason I'm telling you to do that is if you join, you'll have access to who our actors and actresses actually are. I would ask you to follow those people. Give them some love and some appreciation, because they're the ones that, you ever hear that saying, blood, sweat, and tears? Well, those are the people that are actually doing that. But they're doing it not for themselves, they're doing it for your entertainment. So
absolutely
give each one of them, a like, a follow, a share, So, like, I seen another fella in here, Lars Lufborough, George Blunt, Jeremy Tamayo. If y'all don't know one another, and this is the only place that you actually come together, check each other out, man. Give love where it needs to be given. Don't like stalk the person and start, throwing shit on their timeline or something like that. But let them know that you see them and that you appreciate them and that you're following them and that you care.
Absolutely. More amazing advice, you guys. And I want to ask my viewers, whether you're watching this live, whether you are rewatching it later, whether you're watching it on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favor, and I want to see some love in these comments, some cheers, just any kind of hype for, one, our guest, and two, the actors and every other person involved in these films, in these movies, in any part of these productions, because I want you guys to show them and maybe get them hype, and maybe we can get some of them on some of our future shows. So do it up in the comments and let them know that we are hyped to get them on a show. We are hype about this movie, and we are hyped to have people, like Frank on this show to spread love and kindness.
And one last thing before we wrap it up, but when you go to the Wendigo and the Wicca page, and you'll see the cast members and the characters that they'll portray in Wendigo and the Wicca. There's also a link to our IMDb page. That's basically our movie page, where our actors and actresses and the crew receive their credits. So like if you watch any movies, at the end or at the intro, you'll have a rolling credit saying so and so was this character, so and so was this character, this was lights, this was sound. So if you go there, you'll see the IMDb link. Click on IMDb under Wendigo and the Wicca and start following these actors and actresses, because the algorithm, if the more people that follow them, the more likely that somebody with a really, really good name like Scorsese or Tarantino or somebody will pick up on that, and that might get that person an interview or an audition or a call. You might be able to put somebody in Hollywood.
That's right. The algorithm is not just a thing that exists on Facebook, you guys. The more interaction you show these people on any platform, IMDb, like he said, any of them, interact, follow, share, reach out, it's going to help them get exposure. It's going to, it's going to help them from a personal standpoint, going, hey, someone's seen me. That might be all that person needs to make their day. So
that's
even
all.
Even if you're not Scorsese and you are to just reach out to someone and say, hey, I seen this film, I think you did a good job. Hey, I heard this music, good job. You might make someone's day. So go do that for someone.
That's all it takes, is the one casting director or composer or whatever to see that, to get the ball rolling for this actor, this actress, this composer, whatever. So yeah.
Wendigo and the Wicca, you guys, go look it up, follow it. I will, it'll take me a minute to track them all down, but I will absolutely be back in this comment section to drop those links for you guys so that you can track them down. So be on the lookout for that. Right. And most importantly, make sure you follow my guest.
I've already got you you listed and down. I hope to attend your 100th episode coming up, so I'll definitely.
I look forward to. Awesome. If you would like to join us on that show and pop in and say hi and chat with us, you're more than welcome to do that. That invitation is extended to every single one of my previous guests, and as of today, that includes you. So just let me know if you want to hop in on that, and I will give you the details. But until then, I want to just most of all thank you for coming and hanging out with me tonight, and honestly, just spreading so much love and appreciation and knowledge on my show tonight. I love it. I hope my listeners appreciate it and took something out of it. Thank you so much.
Well, it was my pleasure, and peace, love, groovy, make whoopee. We'll see you all next time.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You as well. Thank you, everyone.
What he said. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so, so much. Again, I cannot stress, please go follow my guest, Frank Gordon. Like I said, he is tagged in the description of this video. Please check back in these comments, because I am going to go gather these links and I will be dropping them for you. I think that's all I got. Shout outs to all of you guys for watching. I am not going to forget that. G Blunt, thank you for tuning in. Lars, thank you for tuning in. Sunray, Jeremy, thank you, aka Toad Music. If you wanted to go follow him and give him a listen, like was recommended. Who else in here? Let's see. I seen a couple other people pop in. If you want to shout out, all you have to do is leave a comment and I will do my best to search through and try to get to every single one of you. But if I don't, I apologize. Rob Hall, thank you for watching. I know there's another one in here. I feel like I'm going to mess up your name when I find it, so I am going to apologize ahead of time. Pete S. I'm not even going to try to murder your name, but thank you so much for tuning in and watching the show with us. It is most appreciated. As my guests happened to mention, I do have a few more episodes coming up this month, including one with Jeremy Tomeo, aka Toad, and his friend Cremator. Shit, I think I screwed that one up too. But after that, we hit our official 100th episode of Get Hype AF, and that is July 6th. So go mark your schedules. There's events set up. Turn on the notifications, all that good stuff. I see a link dropped in the comment section right now. Thank you, Lars. You are the man. He just dropped that IMBD link. So go hit that. Go smash it. Go look up all of these actors, all of these musicians. Shout out again to my homies G Blunt and the Baz, who are musically inclined on this movie that we are talking about tonight too. So much love to go be shared. Please do it up. Spread that love. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys had an awesome time. I had an awesome time hanging out with you guys. Just a forewarning, I appreciate you guys for dropping those links. I'm going to end the video, but the links will still be there. So if you get cut off, don't mind me. Do your thing. I appreciate you. Keep sharing those links for me. I freaking love you. You guys are awesome. That's how we spread love. I'm going to shut up. I'm just going on and on tonight. Thank you guys again for watching. Catch the next episode of Get Hype AF. Thank you again to my guests, and thank you guys for watching. Mad Whack out.